Hey, welcome back. So, this is the final episode of our series, and I want to do it a little differently today, more personal, more honest. We have been talking a lot over the past episodes: AI, impact of transformation, delivery timelines, all the shiny, cool stuff. But today, I want to zoom out and talk about something that's been on my mind for a while: the human edge in a machine driven world. I have been playing around with AI tools like crazy: GPT, Copilot, automated dashboard, and Python, all of it. And honestly, they're amazing. They have completely changed how I work. But here's the funny thing: the more I use them, the more I realize what they can't do. Emotional intelligence, creativity, real human connection, those stuffs. Totally ours. Machine just can't touch it. And that's what I wanted to explore today: why these human skills still matters, where machine totally miss the mark, and which skills you and I should be doubling down on for the next decade. Okay, let's start with this. You can automate report, forecast, even code review these days, right? All of that. But here's the thing: you can't automate trust. And I don't just mean trust as in, do I believe the numbers? I mean trust as in, do I believe you? You know what I mean, right? When a client asks for a recommendation, they're not just looking at a slide deck. They're looking for a judgment, for a context, and more than anything, your empathy. I have been in so many meetings where two people are presenting basically the same analysis, same slides, and same charts, same numbers, but somehow one person has everyone leaning forward, nodding, asking question, and the other person just talking. I believe you have seen that happen. And here's the kicker: it's not the data, it's the delivery. How you connect the dots to their business, how you show that you understand their pain points. So, that is the thing. Let me give you an example. I was working on a project with intense forecasting. We had dashboards and model running in the background. You might think that it would be enough, but when we sat with the client, what they cared about wasn't the R scared or the confidence intervals. They wanted to know, what does this mean for my team, my customers, my budget? That's when it hit me: the numbers, just the starting point. The conversation is where the real discussion happen. And that's a bit machine can't do. A dashboard can tell you what happening, but only a human can say, hey, based on what I know about your market, your people, and your goal, and this is what you should do next. That is a judgment. Honestly, this is why I think leadership is still exists. Even in the age of algorithms, people still want advice from humans. They want to know someone's actually thinking about their situation, not just crunching numbers. So here's the big takeaway. Tell me if this resonates with you. Data can inform decisions, but human give them a meaning. The more machines take over the task, the more people value that human layer. All right, let me share a couple of real stories from my own experience and also a few from my colleagues, because this is where it really clicked for me. A colleague of mine rolled out an AI driven pricing model, super advanced, and honestly, the math was beautiful and predicted pricing perfectly, optimized everything. That works, right? But here's a twist: the business hated it, not just dislike it, they hated it. They sit down with them and walk through the logic and show them graphs, explain the fairness matrix, and still they'd say it felt cold, impersonal, almost like being judged by a machine instead of a person. And that's when my colleague realized something crucial. People don't just buy the outcome, they buy the process, the story, the human touch. Without that, even a perfect system can feel wrong. This is another story. You know, a chatbot is everywhere for a support, like one of those virtual assistant. They support to handle easy stuff and free human for complex cases. On paper, those are brilliant. Answers were technically correct and response time instance. But people were angrier than before, not because the info was wrong, it wasn't, but the bot couldn't read the room. It didn't get frustration, urgency, tone. Someone would type in all caps and the bot would cheerful says, "Thank you for your message." You can imagine how that went over. So right there I thought, this is what machines miss. Facts. Sure. Emotional context, no. More importantly, machine can optimize, but they can't empathize. So this is the takeaway. Technology alone doesn't guarantee success. Human insight does. You layer judgment, context, and empathy on top, and suddenly the tool works. Otherwise, even the best solutions flop. So, circling back, if machines are getting smarter, what should we focus on? I have been thinking about this a lot. You scroll through LinkedIn or the news, and it feels like every week there's a new tool that can automate something you may thought only human could do, right? Like report, forecast, like code reviews, coding, and all of that. But here's the thing: while machines are getting faster, some skills are becoming more valuable, not less. And there are the one I'm personally doubling down on. For example, emotional intelligence. Not just hearing what people say, but understand what they feel. In a world of dashboard, empathy becomes a superpower. This is also from my friend because they tend to work with more clients. They roll out an automated reporting system, technically perfect, saved hours. But the client said, "Yeah, but we missed the weekly call with your team." They didn't just want the data, they wanted the human connections, the reassurance, and chance to ask, "Hey, what does this mean for us?" That's empathy. Machines can't do that. And secondly, creativity. Machines remix, humans invent. I had a colleague who used GPT to brainstorm product names. Hundred of options came back, but the final name? It came from a random conversation over coffee. That is sparks, that leaps between ideas, that is still ours. And thirdly, storytelling and communication. Huge skill. If you can take something complex and make it simple, relatable, inspiring, you will always be valuable. I have seen two people present the same idea. One's get polite nod, then other gets wow. When do we start? That is the difference is the story. And finally, like ethical judgment. Machines can optimize for speed, profit, clicks, whatever. But human decides what is right. The next decade will be full of tough calls. Privacy, fairness, bias. People who can lead those conversations, who can say, just because we can, should we? They will stand out. So yeah, while machines climb, they are the muscles I am building: emotional intelligence, creativity, storytelling, and ethics. Because tech alone can't make it work. The human layer make it matters. Here's the big picture. AI. Right now, it is like the engine of a car, powerful, fast, efficient. But you and I, we are the steering wheel. We decide where to go, how fast, and who's in the car. I saw this last year and AI model crunch data like crazy, forecast, train, all of it. But the real value came when our team sat down with the client and said, okay, based on what this model shows, here's where you should hit next. That part, like directions, creativity, empathy, that is still us. So the people who thrive in the next decade, they are the one who combine engine and steering wheel. Let machine do the heavy lifting, keep human hands on the wheel. So when I started this podcast, my goal was simple: share what I've been learning about AI, transformation, architecture, and human nature. But over this episode, the biggest lesson I learned is this: technology doesn't replace us, and it reshapes us. I saw it firsthand. A new AI tool could do in second what used to take days. But the real value came when we apply judgment, context, and explain it in a way the client could trust. That human touch, that is what made it work. And here's the thing: the future won't belong to people who compete with machine. It will belong to those who partner with them and bring something uniquely human to the table. So that's it. And this brings me to the end of this podcast. Thank you for listening and for being part of this journey, and also for caring about the human side of work. This isn't a goodbye, just a pause. I can't wait to come back with more conversation about where we headed next. Until then, keep investing in you, your human nature. That's what really going to be set you apart in machine-driven world. Thank you.